So I know that the Hong Kong protests are happening. I'm admittedly not following it super closely. I don't know a ton about it, but Marcus shares it with us. And I'll be honest, this is my first crash course in it. I know that the protests are happening. I do not know the details of why they're happening. So this is my first entrance into it. If you happen to be watching a clip at a later time and you're not familiar with Get Your News On with Ron or what it's all about, Get Your News On with Ron is the world's first viewer curated streaming news show. That means people tweet me articles, they send me ideas, and that's how we build the show. I'm seeing everything for the first time. So this is my first time seeing anything in regards to Hong Kong. So let's dive into it. Why Hong Kong is protesting. This is from CNN. This is shared via Marcus. Thank you for sharing this, Marcus. So Hong Kong is facing a major political crisis as it heads into a 10th week of mass demonstrations. What started as a movement against a controversial law has expanded into something much bigger. Over the past few months, the protest has evolved from millions of protesters marching through the streets to groups of yellow-hatted demonstrators storming into government headquarters and now shutting down the city's international airport. I believe of the recording of this, flights just resumed recently. While the majority of protesters have been peaceful, frustration is building. Protesters are now demanding greater democracy and an inquiry into the alleged police brutality during past demonstration. Hong Kong's billionaires are calling for order. So what's the history? Hong Kong belongs to China, but has its own currency, political system, and cultural identity. Many Hong Kong's residents don't see themselves as Chinese, but rather as Hong Kongers. That difference goes back generations. Okay. So let's see. Hong Kong's de facto constitution, the Hong Kong Basic Law, enshrines that uniqueness. It guarantees freedoms that are unavailable to Chinese mainlanders, such as the right to protest, the right to free press, and freedom of speech. One of the tenets of that basic law is that Hong Kong has the right to develop its own democracy, and previous Chinese officials pledged that the central government in Beijing wouldn't interfere with that. But in recent years, Beijing has repeatedly reinterpreted the basic law. Now it says it has complete jurisdiction over Hong Kong. Okay, so that's kind of what sparked all this. So that's the controversial thing that sparked all this, and now people are protesting this. They're protesting the Chinese interference with their ability to set up their own democracies, according to this article. And now it's expanding, and they're calling out other corruption, and the billionaires are calling for order. So this is sort of a common story. The billionaires and those benefiting from the status quo are calling for order because they don't want anything to change. The people who are affected by authoritarianism are calling for a change to the system. So there you have it. That's a basic crash course in what is going on in Hong Kong right now. Is there more to it? Of course there is. This is just a basic crash. Okay. I said crass. I meant to say crash. Crass, fun band. Crass probably has a lot of opinions on what's going on in Hong Kong. They're a very politically informed band. They probably have a lot to say. So, Marcus, thank you for that. I knew there were protests going on in Hong Kong. I didn't know much of the details. Now I know a little bit more, and we'll dive deeper into it as time goes on. Thank you for sharing that, Marcus.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and